Hello, hi there. Hey everybody, I hope you're smiling and everyone is good and happy. Um we are just back in Ubud today after a couple of days by the beach. One of my coaches just told me I look like I had a sunburn, but it's actually as tan. I think it's just the light. I'm just gonna keep sticking with that one. I'm sure lots of people have having suntans all around the world if they're spending loads of time out, and I've heard the weather has been amazing. Today, I wanted to share some of my productivity tips for getting stuff done, and how I get things done because I actually, a few of the things I'm going to talk about today because are so powerful. So, first of all, tell us where you are. And if you have any questions or things you struggle with around productivity or getting things done, feel free to pop them into the comments. I'd love to hear and tell me what you've been up to today. Hi, Emma. Hello, hello, hello. So, I wanted to see, so basically, I get a lot of stuff done. And earlier on this year, I actually hired a kind of an accountability coach or a productivity coach. And every week, by the end of the week, she would be just so kind of like, I cannot believe you got all that stuff done. Like, how did you get it all done? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it just comes natural. But actually, hey, Blaine, Sunny in Galway. Getting things done is just something that I've been really good at. And I definitely want to share some of my favorite tips for it because, first of all, um, it all starts with knowing what you want. So that is like really important. And if you have been in my world, and I know Emma has, I know Annie has, Blaheen, like you have to have clarity with what you want. So first of all, it is really, really important to like know like where you're going. Alice, hello, hello. And I always like to begin with the end in mind. So oftentimes when I'm even working on a project, I'll do the last thing that needs to be done first and then work backwards. And it's really one of the things that I learned in my like in fifth year in school. So that means like just before I did my leaving cert when I was about 15, I just learned this kind of technique that is, and everybody probably knows it, but when it comes to a project, I literally do a big, huge brain dump. So it's like everything that needs to come out of my brain has to get onto the piece of paper. And I honestly feel like sometimes if I don't do a brain dump at least once a week, I don't sleep as well. I'm not as productive because my brain is thinking about all the things that need to get done. And today I was sitting beside Ken during we did a session with one of our coaches today, and I could see this list on his paper. I must have like had it on his notebook. I must have picked up his notebook when we were moving into this house. And the first thing said like, get the priest to do a blessing, get the feng shui remedies in, organize the furniture. Like it was just all this list of things. And I don't remember writing the list, but I remember today when I was sitting right beside him, I looked over and I'm like, oh, done, 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 done. And it's one of the big things. That's what I really love working from. So first of all, if you do struggle with getting things done, I really would start with the end in mind. And yesterday or the day before, Joanna Downs was on this on my live that I did, and hopefully Joanna maybe will watch the replay. But years ago, we organized a huge event it's part of the Business and Professional Women's Group in Galway, and I was on the organizing committee of this group, and it really like highlighted something that I now use all the time, but I love was this whole idea of starting with the end in mind. So it's like, what's the very last thing that needs to be done, and then work backwards. Because when you come from that perspective, sometimes we start making our list from the very beginning. Where I can do this, this, this. But if you work backwards, you're also looking at like what you want everyone to have finished. So first of all, big brain dump of everything. Like clean your head of all the stuff, and even if it's like the tiniest thing, like water the plants, buy toothpaste, like brain dump, like the weirdest stuff that just comes out of your brain. Because when you have that busyness, it blocks your flow of the things that need to be done. And genuinely, when it gets down on the paper, I will then start to look and be like, okay, start with the end in mind. If this project has to be done, what's the date? So you'll have seen me yesterday posting about something really exciting that's coming. And I literally like had to have a date on it. So we work really closely with an astrologer because I feel like it gives me dates to work to. It's like, okay, this is a really good day to do something on. Hi Nicola, hi Annie, hi Emma, hi Alice. jealous. It gives you something to work towards. So then, like, I am just crap if there's no like deadline. Like, there's no kind of, even if it's just a self-imposed deadline, I feel like we work better. So giving yourself a little deadline is also really good. But beside the deadline, putting like what it's for, like what's your prize at the end, like what's going to be the juiciness that you get at the end, because that's going to really help as well. So just recapping, like doing this big brain dump, like honestly, I just feel like that's the best thing I could ever do for myself. And when I've done them, it helps you organize your thoughts. So especially when I do a brain dump, I actually just put the words all over the page. Like it's not even like on a list; it's like all over the page. And then I kind of sort them into categories, and then I get more organized with it, going like, okay, this, and start like ticking off the list. And it does work. It really does. Now, in terms of the whole starting with the end in mind, really give yourself time to see what the end looks like. So I have done this for so many things, okay? So many things. So Liz is here. You need deadlines too. Like, the fact that we just like get dates, number one, but knowing what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, how it's going to envision. And we planned our wedding this way. Like we sat in the car, we had a 9-hour car journey the 2 days after we got engaged. So we'd like 5 hours the first day because we got engaged in Australia, and we were on our way from this, like we drove from Sydney to Byron Bay, but we stopped on the way, and we did a 9-hour journey. And it was just like that we did the big brain dump, and then we just like, I kind of visualized and kept seeing how I wanted to all look and unfold and how I wanted it to feel. And one of the big things about like setting your intentions for what it is that you want to get done is like how you want to feel like when it's done and what that feeling feels like. So setting your intention for the outcome is really important. So like the why behind it is important. Like, why are you doing this? So for example, for us, it's like, why was I putting, why did I want the priest to come and do a blessing here in the land? Well, it's really important for me to, first of all, really connect with the land and the energy of the land, especially when we're just going to be living here for a long time. And I could do it myself. I've trained in shamanism and land healing and land clearing, but for me, calling in the Balinese priest to come and do it here is really a big kind of nod of respect. And I didn't want to be living here for too long until that was done, so it was kind of like set the deadline. And then it made it even easier when the landlord said, oh, there's only auspicious days that it can be done on. So it was made it easier. So this is, again, the deadlines makes it so much easier. So going back to that event that I co-planned with Joanna years ago, we mapped out the entire experience from the end backwards. And when you do it that way, it makes it a lot easier. So designing courses, like planning my house, but also in terms of like how you kind of map it out is like the words part. But then for the other side for me is the visual side. So especially for something like planning for the house or for the house, it's like Pinterest board. So I have two Pinterest boards. One Pinterest board is a Pinterest board that I created years ago, and it has like so many followers, that like, and it's still really active. It's nuts. I don't know how, because I just hardly go on it, because I actually deleted. I basically took my own advice and did some decluttering of my digital declutter, and one of them was deleting a really old email address. I did not know that that email address was attached to the actual Pinterest account. But this Pinterest account has so many boards, and it's like it's my go-to when I'm planning something, to kind of go on Pinterest and get the visuals of it, especially for aesthetics. For example, for the house, for that visualization of what you want to create. So whether it's for a live event, what are the photos? Whether it's for creating your house, for doing feng shui, like for feng shui, I'd be like looking at like the different elements, and it gives me that kind of creative outlet to allow me to call it in. So sometimes when you're using like the visual part, it makes it so much easier to get the other things done. And my other new thing when it comes to productivity is getting help. Okay. And this one is like a game changer, because there's going to be certain parts of the list that you do not have to do, that you don't have to do. And there's somebody else out there that will be so much better than you at doing it. And this has taken me so long to learn. But now that I've learned it, things get done even quicker because I usually put off the things that I hate doing, like the shitty little tasks that I don't like doing. I won't do them. So they end up kind of coming back on the list every single day. And then now that we have some help, it makes such a difference. So, for example, redecorating this house that we've had, my first vision was white, and then I was on Pinterest. I was writing down the list, big brain dump of everything that I could ever imagine that I'd want for a house: knives, forks, like, water containers, like just everything bizarre thing went onto the brain dump. And then I went onto Pinterest to feel how it would look like, what I feel like. And I know what shopping is like here in Bali. I love shopping for interior stuff and going to interior design shops and everything, but it's a completely different kettle of fish here in Bali. So what I really love is kind of going, knowing where I'm going to get the stuff, going and then picking it. So I have an amazing assistant who used to work for us here in Bali, and I just know that she is the best person at sourcing stuff if I tell her what I'm looking for. So I basically like said, this is the list of the things that I need. Here's my Pinterest board. Like, go find it, find the prices, get the names of the shops, everything. And no word of a lie, like the time that I paid her to do the investment and the running around and finding the shops saved me like about 3 weeks of time. Because every time you have to go somewhere in Bali to go do something, it takes a few hours. It's not like I'll just nip down to the shop. This is a different world here, looking for stuff and getting things. So I just got her to go look for the things. And then I went to the shops, like the list of the shops, and I was able to walk around and go, oh yeah, that. And the thing is, all the shops that I wouldn't have even known where to look, I would have been just kind of like scratching my head going, I know I can kind of get this stuff in Bali, I don't know where. She did it all for me, found all the places. And then I was able to go into the shops and have the fun and do the fun stuff. So this is where the beauty of having help makes such a difference, because it saved me so much time. And then I was able to be doing stuff that in that time would have been just wasted. So go through the things and see who can I get to help me with this. And honestly, the very first time I heard about this kind of outsourcing to assistants and different people, I was like, oh, like they wouldn't be able to find the things I want. They won't be able to, like I've got such different taste. I tried to just roadblock it all the time. Like they won't be able to do the things that I need. It was just always, I was like, no, I can do it on my own. I'm better. I'll be quicker. And the thing is, you might be quicker, but it's like, where is your time most valuably spent? So for example, like all that time that she spent researching, she actually did like 15 hours. So, or 16 hours work for me to research all of that time, like that would have taken me probably 4 times more time, because I don't speak Bahasa. I can't Google here. All of the shops, I would know where they'd be. She actually lives closer to them. So all of that stuff would have just been, but what else did I do in instead? I have been busy, I was busy actually doing our 5 day project. So I was actually doing the things that's going to be the most important for the business and for me and for my clients and for my people. So you have to really start to look at, is this job like essential for me to do, or can I get someone else to do it for less? Now, Ken used to always be like, I can do it myself. And on a Saturday, we'd be in Glencullen in Dublin, and it used to drive me crazy because we both worked we worked Monday to Friday, and I used to do, sometimes we worked on workshops of the weekends. But once it kind of started getting warm, every Saturday he spent 2 hours mowing the lawn. 2 hours. And I was like, oh, this is such a waste of your time. Like he didn't quite twig it. And I'm like, this is the time that we have for each other together, that we can go do our stuff. This is kind of your off time. Like, why are you wasting it mowing the lawn? And I'd be like, do you like mowing the lawn? And he's like, no, I don't like it at all. Like, I was like, oh my God. So now we have the neighbor who mows the lawn. He loves mowing our lawn because he's like, it just gets me away from the house. He doesn't have his own lawn. He does our bins and he does all this stuff, but he actually is just like, oh, I just find it so relaxing. I love it. And it's like, so somebody else who loves mowing lawns, finds it like a chill out time, is now giving Ken back his 2 hour. It gives Ken, when we're in Ireland, gives Ken back his time to do the other stuff that he really wants to do and wants to spend his time on. So it's really important. Like, productivity doesn't mean that you have to do it all yourself. Productivity means doing the stuff that's going to, get you what you want, get that vision achieved, in the fastest way. The fastest way is often getting help. So going through those lists and seeing who could do this. Do I have to do it? What parts of it can I do? So our team has completely changed in the last couple of months, and we just have a new project manager. And I swear to God, because I have the vision and I know exactly what I want to see happen, and I've been able to assign dates to it. It's everything has just gone on hyper speed because we've started delegating even more. So I hope this helps you with your productivity. Start to think bigger and start to think about how can I get help? Like, you can start small. For example, one of the big things for me was, like, our house in Glencullen was a big house and I was working from home. So I used to think, like, I better do all the laundry. I have to keep the house clean. I need to have the dinner cooked when Ken comes home from work. And I was just like brainwashing myself, like, into this role, because, like, he was not expecting me to do any of that stuff. But I just thought, because I'm at home, I should be doing this stuff. Actually, what's more important for me is to be working and doing my work to, like, bring in the income, grow my business, and have someone come and clean the house while I am there. So, or when I'm got out to my exercise class. And that changed everything. Because, first of all, again, it gave me and Ken back our own time. It stopped, like, friction about, like, who's going to clean, because the house is already clean. And actually, she was a way better cleaner than I could ever clean. I hate hoovering, hate dusting. I don't like doing it. I like, and there's other people. So this depends on you. Maybe you love that stuff, but get someone to come and help, and you're going to reclaim time back that you can spend on valuable stuff to get stuff done. So I hope this has inspired you. If you have any questions about outsourcing or calling in support, like, I am your biggest cheerleader for getting support in whatever it is that your vision is. You don't have to do it all yourself, but you do have to know what you want and have that list, and then you can give it out to the next people. So here in Bali, we don't do our laundry. Ayu does it. She looks after it to the laundrette and everything. That's all good. We don't do our cooking, because the thing is, I know that I could spend loads of time cooking, but I won't be as productive in my business. And right now, that's my priority, and wanting to be able to show up here. If I had to cook the dinner, I probably wouldn't have done this live and shared my insights here. So everyone wins, basically, when you start to outsource different things in your life and business. Have a great day. Please share with me what you outsource or what you plan to outsource. And I know it can be scary, because sometimes it's like you have to invest money in it, but just think about what money you could be earning during that time. And if you need an insight into that, there's a great book called The Big Leap. And I recommend that book for anyone. If you're hitting any kind of plateau in your life, it will definitely highlight a few things that will help you around moving to the next level and getting some support in your life and business. Bye for now. I'm going to go watch some TV with Ken, and I will be back tomorrow to announce the big surprise. Can't wait. Bye.